Hello everybody, my name is Rich Novak. I'm one of the surgeons here at Ultimate Bariatrics. Today we're going to talk about the gastric bypass. So obviously the most important thing you're going to hear me say this over and over and over again is there's no magic in surgery. You got to make lifestyle changes. You got to control your diet along with your operation to be long-term successful. You're not immune to gaining weight with the bypass either. I mean, this is something that is a lifelong commitment to being better with your overall diet. That being said, the gastric bypass, we've done it the longest. It's still considered the gold standard of weight loss surgery, which basically means that anything new that we do, we compare it to the gastric bypass as far as safety and efficacy of the actual procedure that we're doing. The overall weight loss associated with the gastric bypass is between 70 and 75% of excess body weight, meaning if you're 100 pounds overweight, you're gonna lose between 70 and 75 pounds. Obviously, that's an average. Some people do better and some people do worse depending on how much you change along with your surgery. It's done laparoscopic, little tiny poke hole incisions. Takes about an hour and 20 minutes to complete in the operating room, and then you're gonna spend one night in the hospital typically. Most people go home the following morning or following early afternoon. The bypass is somewhat a little bit more complicated of anatomy to explain. There are some pictures and videos on our website to kind of help guide you with what I'm saying, but basically the essentials of the operation is what we do is we create a small pouch at the top portion of your stomach. From there, we bring a piece of your small intestine up and we plug it into that new pouch. The other piece of the intestine, the disconnected piece, is connected downstream, and you're left with this kind of Y-shaped anatomy where as you eat food, food comes down this one limb, your digestive enzymes come down this other limb, and they meet and mix down here, and this is where absorption takes place. So as far as weight loss and how this works is it's both restrictive in nature, small pouch, small portions, but it's also partially malabsorptive, meaning that you're not gonna absorb those calories as it travels down that bypass part of your intestine, not until it meets up with the digestive enzymes. Just like any other surgery out there, there's always risks involved with it, aside from your normal risks like bleeding and blood clots and things of that nature. Specific to the bypass are a couple. One is a leak at the staple line. It's about 1% nationwide. If it were to occur, usually what we do is we put a stent across it from the inside. We leave it alone, it heals on its own in about 4 weeks, and we take the stent out. There is something called an internal hernia, which is definitely a possibility as you lose weight, where the intestines can kind of twist on themselves and flip through a small little hole in the blood vessels that supply the small intestine. If that were to occur, it definitely needs surgery to fix it. Again, it's quite rare, and we do close those holes with permanent stitches, but you know, when people lose a lot of weight, sometimes these defects can open up and occur. Lastly is ulcers, so ulcer formation. So the small intestine does not have the same protective lining that the stomach does, and so you are at risk for developing ulcer on the intestinal side of that connection between the pouch and the small intestine. This is something that is very common, and we see it often in people who are smokers. So if you're an active smoker, the bypass is a terrible idea for you because these ulcers, they're painful. They don't heal unless you quit smoking, and sometimes they can lead to more serious problems like perforation or strictures or something of that nature. So, well, we all know smoking is not good for us. I'm not here to lecture you on the perils of smoking. I'm just telling you that if you're a smoker, you do not want to get a bypass because you'll probably regret it, you know, a few years down the road. Again, all these surgeries, they're tools to help you lose weight. Your commitment is the most important part of it. I think the bypass is a fantastic operation. It's safe. It's, you know, equivalent to having a sleeve done in today's world. Everybody's got a scary story about the bypass. Everybody knows somebody who's had a bad experience with the bypass. That's because it's been around for so long. The truth of the matter is that 99% of the people are doing fantastic with their bypass, love their bypass, and have lost a significant amount of weight and have kept it off. If you have more questions about this, obviously we encourage you to come into the office and sit down and have a consult with one of the surgeons in the group. Myself, Dr. Smith, Dr. Roberts, or Dr. Snell will be more than happy to take you through it and explain everything to you in detail. Thank you.